All right, guys, what's going on? So tonight we have a special guest. Dreams do come true, especially for me. I got on with me right now, Mr. John Jaso. John, what's going on?
Hey man, how's it going?
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm sure you're enjoying yourself more so right now than I am. It's raining in Western Pennsylvania, and you are where, John?
Yeah, St. Pete Beach, man. It was probably 83 degrees here today, blue skies. Sorry to hear about that.
You've experienced enough of it, so you're living out there, and you're out there right now. But that's fantastic. That is so cool. I'm actually going to. I'll be in St. Thomas in Puerto Rico, and then we hit Haiti right around March.
Uh-huh.
March 10th, I leave on a cruise with my family, and we hit those three countries and islands. It's going to be really sweet. I
Oh,
love the
cool.
islands. They're awesome. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so John, what were you like growing up as a kid?
Man, what was I like? I wish I could ask my parents and get their side of that story. I think, I grew up in Humboldt County, California, which is it's up there in the sticks. It's not a big city at all. I mean, well, that's a county, but the city I grew up in wasn't very big at all. I think I had like 80 kids in my graduating class.
Oh wow.
Yeah, super tiny. And I pretty much just grew up outdoors, man. I didn't really have too much TV. I think I had like four channels growing up. And it was just all camping, fishing, um, snowboarding, just anything outdoors. That was my life as a kid. And during the holidays and summertime, we would go down to San Diego and visit my grandparents down there. And so it was pretty cool up north in Northern California and Southern California.
Wow, that's incredible. So you were just always outside. I mean, you were always kind of intrigued with nature, being around nature, like you said, going fishing and camping. Kind of like, were you ever thinking when you were a young kid that, you were an adventurer, an explorer out there like every young kid does? I mean,
Yeah,
I've been there.
yeah.
That's really cool. Now, growing up in California, from what you were saying, growing up in the sticks more so, and where there's more of a rural kind of plain. You ever get in any surfing later on?
Oh, surfing? I tried a couple times. Up there, the water's just like bitter cold and pretty crazy waves. And I never really got that into it because I needed a wetsuit and I needed a board. Um, but snowboarding was a thing. Our mountain growing up was Mount Shasta, and I go over there all the time. And but never got into surfing. But I really want to, and I think with my future, it's something I'm definitely going to get into.
That's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
sweet. Now, how old were you when you first started playing baseball?
Ooh, man, I think, gosh, I don't know. Ever since I can remember, I was holding a bat or throwing a ball. I mean, all the way from T-ball, right? So that was like 5 years old or something like that. I remember just smashing the tee every time and not being able to hit the ball. Who would have thunk? you know, and,
That is
I
pretty
think it
funny,
would just
yeah.
like let me run around the bases to be nice. Um, yeah, and so I mean, ever since I can remember, 5 years old, and it was. I have a little bit of baseball background in my family too. My grandpa on my mom's side, he played some pro ball, and and that influenced me a lot. I mean, so whenever I go down to San Diego, it was always going out in the field with a bat and a glove and the ball with my grandpa and a couple of my cousins, and then also growing up in Northern California too. I had my parents helping me out too with baseball up there. My dad was always playing games with me and my brothers, making up silly games, that we could do in a small yard
Yeah.
with a hard ball, instead of like putting the wiffle ball down for a while and and that was all at a really young age. But that kind of fun kind of kept me going through the game through my younger years and kept it fresh.
Now, how did that transition over into, you playing professional? I saw you did go
Yeah.
on it. You played for a community college for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, where I was from, McKinleyville, up north, I didn't really get any exposure or anything, and I don't even know if I even if I did get exposure, if I would have even gotten like a scholarship to go anywhere. I don't even think I was that good in high school. Um, but I remember talking to a few colleges, and they were like, "Well, yeah, you can like come try out, you know." So I was like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna go down to San Diego. I'm gonna live with my grandparents, and I'm just going to go to a junior college and get a cheap education, and I'm just gonna go walk on and kind of try out for a junior college just for fun, sort of." And so I walked on, and they were like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well." I kind of play a lot of different positions. I pitch and I catch. I like doing both of those things. So they like watch me throw a bullpen for a while, and then I took BP and I hit left-handed, and they said basically, all right, you're staying as a hitter. You're gonna catch.
Huh.
And I was like, whoa, am I like on the team now? And I guess I just made the team or whatever. It was actually a little bit competitive because it was San Diego, bigger area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't think that I was going to make the team. I was just kind of like doing it for fun. And I remember even the next year, I would come out and it would be like all the preseason stuff, and they're making cuts down just like they would do in high school or something like that. And I thought I was going to get cut the next year too. I didn't think I was going to make the team again. Um, but so that's what happened. I basically just walked on at Southwestern College in San Diego, and I'm actually supposed to be getting put into their Hall of Fame in April, which is kind of
What?
cool.
Congrats, man. That's sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool.
That is
Yeah,
really cool. That's
I'm super
huge.
honored. Yeah, and and then so after my second year, I was just talking to University of San Diego, and I was just going to use baseball as a way to kind of pay for my college and get through 4 years of school. And so I talked to USD a little bit, and I actually got an academic scholarship to go there, and
Oh,
it
wow.
was yeah, I think it was paying like 85% of my tuition to go to the University of San Diego, and and that's when I got approached. I got approached by a scout not too long after that, and and I never even thought about playing pro ball. It like never even hit me, and so then it's just kind of it's amazing what life will throw at you.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That's had
Yeah.
to be incredible. And you even saying, you never thought about playing pro ball. What did you want to be when you were a young guy? A young kid. You're still a young guy, but what did you want to be when you were a young kid?
I actually wanted to be a teacher.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, for a lot of years there, like later on in high school, and then through junior college, it was just sticking with me that I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to, that's my phone, and I just wanted to teach like an advanced level of math, um, like trig and calc. And so that's just what I was going to do. I mean, all my classes in junior college were to get me on that path and everything. And then who knows? Maybe I'll go back to school and continue my younger dream.
Well, you know that everyone who's going to be listening is going to end up thinking to themselves how much they wished that you could have been their math teacher. You're a relaxed guy, chill guy, and you have teachers who will show you certain stuff and you might not
Yeah,
understand. And then I can already tell that would not happen with you by any means.
yeah. No, I mean, oh yeah, just turn in that homework whenever you get a chance. Don't
That's too
stress.
funny.
Don't stress it.
Oh God. So going over to Pittsburgh, what was that like? The transition. What were your thoughts on Pittsburgh? I mean, did you like the city, the area, or?
Oh yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I feel blessed to have played in the places I've played, and Pittsburgh was great, man. I mean, obviously the stadium's great. That speaks for it. I thought the facilities were great. You know, the ownership I thought treated us players really well, and so it's definitely a comfortable time there. And as far as outside of baseball, I love the city. I got out and adventured a little bit more this year, and a lot of nature hikes. God, I went and visited like 5 different parks that had trails and everything, and I mean, I could just tell. I like got one off the top of my head, like the Butterfly Loop Trail.
I've heard of
Uh,
that. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of them, and that was great. Go up there, and I think went up there and jogged one time, and with my girlfriend, and I mean, I love the stuff that they've uh, kept as far as nature goes right around the city is really great. And I lived right downtown, and that was a great time too, man. And actually, I was turned vegan this last year.
I was about to jump into that. That's wild. You got to know I have celiac disease. So it's not exactly the same thing, but I know it's heavily a lot of organic, isn't it, for the most part?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to eat organic, but I mean, a lot of it is just basically like the food has to come out of the dirt, really. It basically can't poop. Like, so it's all veggies, fruits, veggies, grains, that kind of stuff. No dairy, no eggs, no meat, no fish. People always ask about fish, and and it's a pretty fresh diet, man. I really like it, and I think it really does good things for your body and for our planet as well. So, but eating in Pittsburgh vegan is not the easiest thing.
I was gonna say, yeah, eating with celiac disease is not even the easiest thing, unless that the
Yeah,
fact that everything revolves around meat. It seems like.
right. Oh my gosh, I can imagine.
Yeah, but wow. So even we'll step away from baseball for a minute because I really want to ask you. I know you are one hell of an adventurer, man. I read some totally awesome articles. One where you were diving, I forget where, with whale sharks.
Yeah, with whale sharks.
Oh, what was that like?
Incredible. It was unbelievable. It was for All-Star break, and my girlfriend and I, we flew down there, flew into Cancun, rented a car, drove up to the northern tip of the peninsula, and hopped on this ferry across to an incredible island. It's called Holbush Island. And from there, they kind of take you out into the middle of the Gulf and drop you off. Like they know right where these big fish are, right?
Yeah.
And all you really see is the tip of the tail, and you jump in, and it's like, whoa, there's this big like monster down there who's not going to eat you or anything like that. He's actually eating like it's like the biggest animal on the planet, eating the smallest little critters on the planet. It's the
Yeah.
funniest. It's the funniest thing. But they're incredible, incredible creatures, and it was very humbling and made you feel, I don't know, like you weren't so important. Like there's these other amazing living creatures on this planet, and they're almost like they're just as amazing as we are. To be able to jump into the water and be in the environment with those fish was amazing. So that's what we did for All-Star break and explored the peninsula a little bit more. Walked into the jungle, spider monkeys,
Oh,
um,
that had to be sweet.
howler monkeys. Yeah, I mean, just always trying to find wildlife. Actually, for Valentine's Day, it was amazing. We went up to an island here called Caladesi Island, and found a nature trail there, and there were some nesting great horned owls with little owlets and everything, and we
Wow.
got to stop and watch them for like an hour. We were just like so entranced by the dynamic of this duo and their little offspring. It was incredible. So there's a lot of entertainment out there besides television.
So true, so true.
Yeah.
I think it's nuts, and I mean, it's definitely something where, and I could kind of feel it with how you were, expressing the whale sharks and the owls, and it's like a surreal feeling that it seems like only few still have inside of them, to appreciate what else is out there. Whereas other people might just kind of want to, you know, not pay attention, but yet there is so much wow,
Yeah,
all over the world.
yeah, there is. I think it's in everybody. I think like everybody has um, that love because we're all connected, um, and we're all connected by a string of whatever it is. And I think that some minds are just blocked, by society and what they're throwing at you, and um, what kind of like shoes are in style and everything. And that's what we like put our minds to, but that's not who we really are.
Yeah,
We're we're like sweating, bleeding um, organisms on this planet too, and we all share like the same air, and we share the same life and everything. And I think if people can take those blinders away, they can really like see that connectivity again. But society is pretty strong, and commercialism is a very strong thing. So it definitely takes some practice, but when you do put those blinders away, you really feel free.
yeah. I was researching a lot of indigenous tribes all over the world,
Hmm.
and there was a certain article that I did come across that kind of spoke and touched on the fact that a lot of these tribes resemble the belief of animism, and it assimilates to nature and the wind and water and animals and how they react to certain things, and it also connected to how people over time have lost their ability to feel that way, whereas these tribes that have been living 60,000 years, on that one indigenous area, and having descendants carried down, still follow that way because they've had those blinders not shut. The
Right.
hinges are not closed for them.
Yeah. And it's incredible to like to feel that like being part of the world instead of being part of, I don't know, somebody else's opinion. you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a better, more full feeling, but um, you know, it's the life.
The man, the myth, the life, John Jaso. Wow. So jumping into the retirement plan, I got to hear about that, man. Because when I saw that, I was like, this is the coolest thing that I have seen, in a while. And, I've always been a fan of yours. And I remember going to my first Pirate game, and I think you walked out to Joe Walsh. I'm a huge classic rock guy. It might have been Joe Walsh, it might not have been. But either way, do you like Joe Walsh?
Hell yeah.
Okay, okay,
You
cool,
can't,
cool,
you
cool.
can't not like Joe Walsh. I was trying to think of what song it was. Was it this year? Was it last year?
I think it was actually 2 years ago.
Oh, but with the Pirates.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I can't think back that far right now. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man.
I do know, like this year, it was great. I walked out to, um, my favorite walkout song was Fire in the Horizon, and that was by Stick Figure. Everybody should look up Stick Figure if they don't know who they are right now. Incredible band, good vibes, happy feelings. It's a great, great group.
That is amazing. Wow. And you, I got to tell you something. If you got time, you a fan of Van
Yeah.
Halen?
Oh, Van Halen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I interviewed Brandon Pertzborn, who is with was with the Misfits, and he's with Black Flag right now.
Okay.
He heard that David Lee Roth used to have the stage clean before every single show.
What do you mean? Like mopped and everything?
Like mopped and everything, man. It was just a
So he wanted
David Lee
only
kind of
his
thing.
sweat on the stage, nobody else's?
No idea. It was wild though, but he just used to have people do it. It was the craziest thing. I'm a big Van Halen fan. I look into that stuff. Whenever I hear something like that, I always like
Yeah,
think about it. I'm like, that's
maybe
so
it was a
cool.
superstition.
Could have been.
God, us humans and our superstitions. It just creates more work for other people, is what it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. So you're sailing off. Has the journey begun yet? Is that
Um, I don't know. I mean, like as far as like taking off, no. But the journey, I think like the journey kind of starts with the idea, you know? And so I feel like the journey has begun because that idea has been planted and everything I'm really doing right now is working towards taking off. And so I have the boat, which is a great start.
that is a great start? Yeah.
Yeah. And my girlfriend and I we're fixing it up and we're kind of getting it self-sustainable and we kind of want to like really have a we really want to have like a green footprint, you know what I mean? So we're getting solar panels on there to juice everything up. So
Wow.
wind generator, because otherwise you need electricity on the boat
Yeah.
because of like I don't know just navigation equipment say. And what most people would do is flick on their diesel generator to juice up the batteries again and then flick it off, you know. And so we don't really want to be doing that. We kind of want to be quiet and green and leave things untouched, you know. So we're getting solar panels on there, water maker, wind generator, and as soon as we get that stuff taken care of and get a few more supplies, we'll be going. And I think it's going to be springtime.
Sweet, sweet. I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, man, you remind me of Captain Ron with Kurt Russell.
Captain. Dude, I just watched that like I think it was a couple weeks ago.
No
I
way,
got
I
it.
did too. When I found out that I
Yeah.
was able to, do the interview with you, I threw on Captain Ron.
Yeah, I got it from the amazing fans that are up on the thing out there in left field. What do you call that? The rotunda?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those the Pirate fans up there, man. They're whenever I was hanging out there in left field, it was always Captain Ron, Captain Ron. You know, getting me pumped up, giving the thumbs up and everything. And they, one of the dudes sent me Captain Ron in the mail, and I just watched it a few weeks ago,
Oh wow, that's awesome.
just like I remembered it from years ago. Still as good.
That is sweet. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, John, I gotta ask this. I do not think that this would happen to you. You got it under control, but are you at
Uh,
all worried about maybe rough seas, getting lost, anything like that, or?
oh yeah, yeah. Things are gonna happen. They're definitely gonna happen.
You're a
Um,
badass, man. I can tell you. Oh, wow.
I want the adventure. I don't want just calm seas. I want a little like, I want a curveball thrown at me every once in a while. But yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, it's going to happen. I think if you go out there thinking that it's not going to happen, you're going to be caught off guard. So, um, and you're not going to be prepared. So I think it is going to happen to me, definitely. So I'm going to, be prepared for it, do my homework, and go at it safely. So the Caribbean is a great place to learn how to sail because everything is within like a day sail from each other. It's not like you're hopping across the Atlantic or when you get over to the South Pacific, those islands are so far apart from each other. You could just pretty much hop right down the chain of islands. So, you know, landfall is not that far away, and it's a good place to kind of get your feet underneath you and work out all the kinks, I guess.
Will Saint Martin be one of those potential destinations?
Yeah,
You ever
yeah.
been there before?
What time of the year are we talking about?
Anytime,
Oh,
anytime,
anytime.
really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You recommend it?
Oh yes, I love St. Martin. I've been there twice now. I went once with my dad uh, after I graduated high school, and the people were saying at the beginning, like, oh, like if you're, from the U.S., like maybe it's not best to go out of the resort or stuff. And my dad and I
Uh,
were just like, no, we're renting a car, we're going out of the resort, we're doing this right. Went to a
yeah.
fantastic cigar place called Kit Lee's Cigar Lounge. It was
Okay.
incredible.
All right.
It was amazing, man. I'm a big cigar fan. I'm a huge cigar fan, and it was absolutely incredible. I do recommend St. Martin, most definitely, though.
I'm gonna write down that place, and
Definitely do,
because
yeah. And
actually, um, for New Year's, my girlfriend and I went down to Cuba.
oh, I saw that. Yeah, how was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we had and we celebrated New Year's in Cuba, and it was so cool down there. It was um, we spent a lot most of our time in Havana, but like and then we got out to the countryside. We went to the tobacco farms, and we went to go visit a national park down there. But like right when we got down to Havana, we met up with a friend of a friend there, and he was kind of like a host on Airbnb.
Yeah.
And right away, he put the Cuba Libre in our hands and a fat Cuban cigar. And
Oh, wow.
I haven't smoked a cigar in years, and that thing tasted so good. I don't know if it was because I was in Cuba and I had like some rum and coke in my hands. I don't know, but I think I ended up smoking like 20 in 4 days.
Oh, gnarly. Yeah, that you got
Yeah,
to, man. I mean, and
yeah.
it's just incredible, but it's I love those areas, and Cuba's definitely one place that I've always wanted to go to badly, and I can only imagine how beautiful it is.
Yeah, yeah. The especially the countryside where the tobacco is all grown is called Vinales, is a city, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's kind of like Cuba's Yosemite Valley or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool.
The funniest thing I will tell you when my dad and I landed in St. Martin, we got a cab to the hotel, and I was like, it was first time of mine to be out of the country, and I was asking the driver, who he spoke broken English, very nice guy, but I asked him, I said, "You guys have any wild exotic animals on this island?" And
Uh-huh.
I guess he might have only caught animals, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, we have the cow and the goat and the
Yeah.
dog and the cat." Yeah, and I was like, "I'm looking for, monkeys and everything like that." And
Right.
I could see a cow, in Washington County, Pennsylvania if I want to, I don't
Right.
need to come here to see a cow.
That's funny. I don't know if those islands have monkeys and everything like that,
Who
but
knows, man? Hey, I mean, if
that's
they do,
hilarious.
I didn't see them. But so was there anyone who motivated you to kind of, go out, on this adventure? Because I mean, it's such a cool adventure. I mean, I've for you, even for you doing it too, because you're the man.
Yeah.
But did anyone ever motivate you to, to kind of steer you in that direction?
Um, no, I think a lot of it was um like no particular person did. It was more of like self-searching and kind of soul-searching that kind of put me onto that path. And um I was looking for a simpler way to live life and a simpler way to think as well. Because we're always thinking, right? Like we always got things going on. We always got these our like animated voices in our heads, like squabbling back and forth, and things get so complicated. And I just wanted it to be simpler. So I have a boat, and it's like a center console fishing boat, and I loved going out on that thing. And I'd be 30 miles out bobbing around on this 23-foot boat by myself, and I loved it.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't scared. I was just like by myself, and no lights, no car engines. And I just loved it out there. And so I thought, oh, I'll go to a boat show. And and then I started walking around these sailboats and talking to people, and it's like, oh my God, like, you see people doing things, and sometimes you're like, oh man, I'll never be able to do what they're doing. But they're people and they're doing it. So hell yeah, you can do it. Because they're people just like you. Um,
Right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just started talking to some of the people there, and started doing some research and everything. So uh, that that experience of me floating around on the boat out there in the water and then going and seeing these beautiful sailboats and then mixing that with just me wanting to find a simpler way to live life, I think just all kind of came together and was like, this is it. This is what I want. And um, and then I met my girlfriend, and that was like the first thing. And I think I like asked her like, oh, what, 'cause, I was like, what do you want to do in life? Like, what are your dreams? And she was like, I just want to leave and go sail somewhere and just keep sailing. And I was like, oh my God.
That is
And
incredible,
so,
man. Oh God,
yeah,
take me as your first mate. I'll row the damn boat. I don't even care. Yeah. Oh my God, that is cool.
yeah, we love company,
Oh,
man.
that is sweet. That is sweet. But I mean, that's just something that there's got to be. Do you have a wild story? Any wild story that I mean, already where places you might have traveled to? Sailing. I'm sure there's got to be some.
Well, sailing, I haven't done. Actually, I haven't done much sailing. I mean, we've gone on the boat and we've gone on like overnighter trips and everything just around here.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but we haven't like gone for any extended time, so I don't have any crazy sailing stories. Um, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
but I
okay.
hope to I
Yeah.
hope to build a lot of those stories, and if we do another interview sometime in the future, I hope I can hit you with some good ones.
Oh yeah. What about I mean, going through the jungle and stuff? Anything that you might have ever been to Puerto Rico, by the way?
No, never been to Puerto Rico. I've been to a few islands down there. Uh, Jamaica, St. Lucia. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I haven't really explored much, but I am really looking forward to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, man, El
Yeah.
Yunque, the national forest, absolutely beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard a lot of good things about that place, and there's a lot of little islands around there that are supposed to be killer places to anchor up at too. So that's definitely a spot I want to go. And the destination is going to be like the South Pacific, Indian Ocean, something like that.
Okay.
Eventually, yeah.
So is that more so kind of by like are you thinking like Sumatra and stuff like or is that way off the grid?
Sumatra, no. I mean, we definitely want to go to Sumatra because we both share a passion like for orangutans, and
Awesome.
we both would love to go over there and help out, volunteer at some rescue places and some habitats and everything because the orangutans they're struggling over there. There's like the palm oil industry that's tearing through there, and I mean, if you look at any package like candy bar or anything like that, palm oils and everything, and there's some really sad pictures on the internet of what's happening over there with the orangutans. But that's Sumatra and that's Borneo, and so we'd definitely be there. But we're both like really looking forward to doing a lot of diving over there.
Oh, I
So
heard it was
yeah,
amazing. Yeah. The sea
yeah, it's
turtles and
really really
everything.
great. Yeah, yeah.
Ties me back in to what I was telling you about those indigenous tribes. Ever heard of the Andaman Islands?
No, what are these islands?
Andaman and Nicobar Islands.
Okay.
There is one you cannot go. That is where the one indigenous tribe lives. That India has a 3 mile sector around the island. They did not want to be bothered. I guess they were killing too many visitors. So, but still, I mean, they're extremely interesting. And I know there was like, I'm real big into that stuff. So I know that there was talk about Atlantis, and stuff
Oh,
being
being
in,
there.
yeah, well, not specifically there, but in the Indian Ocean, right in the middle. To the left is Africa, then to the right Australia if you're looking on a map, and then right up above I believe would be India. But it's yeah, there was talk that it was there, and they called it the Maria. Huge tale. I've told a lot of my friends. Only a few of me, believe my theory, but I mean, I still believe. My good friends do. My roommate Gabe, he believes my theory, but you know, it's really cool. But the Andaman and Nicobar Islands,
All right, I'm gonna check that out. Wrote it down.
yeah. But you know, John, I gotta say, man, you are the coolest dude. You are the coolest dude, and I gotta also thank your girlfriend for setting this up as well. I mean, I originally contacted her and asked for the opportunity, and
Yeah.
you are the man, dude. You're the man, and I mean, you got this huge adventure going for you, and I'll tell you what, you motivated me, to follow that dream too. I've always been real big into that stuff. That is so cool, though.
Yeah, good man. Thanks for the words.
Oh, always, always. But I do want to tell you that place. I know you wanted to write it down. Kitley's Cigars.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's the place. And if Kit is there, he's a great guy, really cool guy. You tell him Matt sent you.
Right.
He's a really really nice guy. It's really cool, and they've been cleaning it up. With all the hurricane relief and stuff like that has happened, which is such a shame because, I'm happy that the islands are getting back to where they were because they're just so beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
But John, I want to say again, man, thank you so much for being on my show, and thank you for sharing your story and your next big adventure, because that is the coolest thing. And we definitely do have to do a follow-up. I'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I'm all for it.
Fantastic. All right, John.